Hello everybody, many thanks for stopping by. Welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 tuning video with KCR-Mark. In today's video we're going to be tuning a car relatively new to the game. This is a car released in the latest car update 1.54. This is a stunning 2020 Porsche 911 Turbo S. In this video we're going to be tuning the car to 600 pp. I'll take you through the complete build process from start to finish, all the parts that you need to buy and the tuning sheet itself, and you're going to end up with a fantastic car for this race. It's going to have over 600 brake horsepower and capable of well over 200 miles an hour. So without further ado, let's get straight into the build. It's a car available at all times. You just buy this from the Porsche dealership in Gran Central, 300,000 credits. The modifications are really simple on this. There's no wide body or engine swap available. In terms of wheels, choose whichever style you prefer. We're using standard diameter, wide width and standard offset. In terms of aero, we're going to be using a Type A front splitter. The side skirts and rear diffuser are blanked out, and we're using a Type A rear wing. I've also fitted a Type C roll cage for this car as well. We're next going to head to tuning parts, where we need to buy the weight reduction stage 1, sports hard tyres, high lift camshaft. Ignore some of the parts on here that you don't need to buy. I'll point out the things that you actually have to purchase. We want power restrictor, ballast, we want fully customised computer. We're going to fit the racing crankshaft. Next up, we're going to buy the custom LSD and the fully customised manual transmission. This really helps to lower the PP of the car and ensure we can get more power out. We're going to install the stroke up kit. Next up is the racing exhaust manifold, the racing brake pads and the racing brake discs. These are pretty essential because it's quite a heavy car, as I said. Racing clutch and flywheel, and that is all you need for this build. It's fairly simple. So with the car all built, we can head to the tuning sheet. As you see, with the modifications we've done to the car, we've ended up with 633 brake horsepower, but the downside is it's quite a heavy build, but as you'll see when we get into the race, that's not really an issue with this car. Now the car itself suffered a little bit from wheel arch clipping and a few problems, so I decided to go with normal suspension on this tune, which is not something I very often do, but it works really well with this car, and of course it gives you a lot more performance points to play with, so we can extract as much power out of the car as we can. Fully customised diff settings are as follows. I've got very low initial torque. With it being a four-wheel drive car, we want it to be as punchy and responsive as we can out of the corners, and it works really well with this setting. So moving on next to the gearbox, and we're using a fully customised manual transmission on this build. 8-speed gearbox, as you can see. I found the ratios to be really good as standard, so I've not touched those at all. I've just upped the top speed to 330. You want the power restrictor at 85. We've added 200 kilos of ballast to the front of the car, just again to get that PP down to make sure we get as much power as we can. Tiny bit on the ECU, and we're using full downforce on the back and minimum on the front. And that's all you need to do build wise. Everything else is just as we brought from the tuning shop. So we've got the racing exhaust, the racing brakes, the clutch and flywheel racing, and the engine mods and weight reduction that we've done. So the car all built, we can head to the race. We're going to World Circuits Asia, and we're going to the World Touring Car 600 at the Tokyo Expressway. So heading into the race, and the first thing to know is obviously we've extracted quite a lot of power out of this car, so it does affect the fuel economy slightly. But with this having 8 gears, that means you can do a lot of short shifting with this car. It's got loads of torque. The way I do it is I just wait till the rev counter gets to round about where the gear indicator is and just shift up there. After a couple of corners it becomes second nature. You don't even have to concern yourself with it. It's really easy to do. So out on track, and this car's much better than you would think it would be with being such a heavy car. It's really stable, really changes direction really nicely. It's got loads of traction and grip from that four-wheel drive, and I think the main standout is just how simple it is to drive. It's really user friendly and great fun to throw about, and as you'll see a bit later in the video, once you get used to it, you can get some absolutely phenomenal lap times out of this thing. So by the end of lap 2, we've already caught up with the leader, and you can really see the pace of this car. It's absolutely fantastic down the straight, topping out at just over 200 miles an hour right at the end of the main straight. So we'll skip ahead now to our one and only pit stop, which is at the end of lap 6. With that tiny bit of fuel saving we've done, we can assure that no problem. As you can see, lap times are really quick for this car. 2:06.5 is my quickest so far, which is really surprised me actually, with it being quite a heavy car, but it just handles so nice and is so quick down straight. You can extract some really quick laps out of this car. So as usual, I'm not going to go too in depth to the race itself. I'm sure you've done it quite a few times before. This is more about the tune itself rather than the race. But in summary, I really enjoyed driving this car. It's super consistent. No real weird handling quirks. It's just really stable, really quick through the infield section, and very fast down the straight. So we're going to skip ahead to the end of the race. As you can see, really consistent lap times. We've got a fastest of 2:06.5, which is really quick for a one-stop strategy car, but most of the lap times are in the 2:06, 2:07 region, and you should have a really comfortable victory with this car. We crossed the line just over 26 minutes, so pretty good pace, and obviously with that clean race bonus, you're going to be getting yourself the 825,000 credits. So as always, a huge thank you for stopping by. Really hope you like the tune. I look forward to reading all your comments. If you want to stay tuned to the end of the video, I've got the full fastest lap on there. But in the meantime, many thanks again for stopping by. I'll see you again soon. Cheers, bye.